Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. If you like what I've completely fucked up my intro. God damn it! I've been recording last night. Fuck! Everything is ruined. Hi everybody, it's me, Notepad Anon. I write games for fun. Yeah, we're gonna be working on Midnight Anima today. Yeah, that was Girls Last Tour music. I originally was gonna go like, yeah, let's do My Brother from Berserk, but I'm like, no, that sounds too cool for this. It's fucking Midnight Anima. Like, yeah. That's one thing I always find funny when I'm like trying to pick music. Every now and again I find a track, I'm like, yeah, this is right up, this is literally all I need. I'm like, this is too cool. Or like, yeah, this is too somber for what I'm doing. But yeah. So what happened last time? Well, last time we worked on items mostly. And generally we got most things done. It's a little bit hectic, but it works. I did add the effects for all of the items. The only really odd one, kind of out of the ordinary, is Dismember, which is the weapon will always crit if the target has 0 physical defense. So pretty much if they don't have any armor, you're gonna do 0. They're gonna actually not. You're gonna do 0. If they have 0 physical defense, you're gonna critical hit them, and the critical damage is usually much higher. That's usually a big thing with Dismember. Group Strike is you may push to strike all the targets in the front row, which is to say, hey, let's say there's 3 people in the front row. You can say, oh, I'm going to take a -10 penalty to this. In exchange, I'm going to hit all of them at once, which would be pretty good. Pierce goes with that. Range can be used from the back line. Reload must be reloaded, taking an action. And actually reloaded after use. Use taking an action, and slow is the weird one. I didn't quite know how to balance that correctly. I did it at -4 initiative, so you just go a lot slower than everybody else. And two-handed. The weapon is used in 2 hands. Ta-da! Yeah, stun is the target loses an action that turn, I should say, that round, I should say. The demon, however, is unaffected by stun. You cannot stun lock the demon. I specifically put that in there, being like, okay, the plan will be we're going to stun lock the demon. Now, we have this armor, works exactly the way kind of said. I did do like a little bit of tweaking here, I think, just added in some little things. Now, the trinkets, I put in a few trinkets. Some of them, like the Demon Cultist Hood. You get a plus 20% to all demon lore checks, but you have -5 focus points. Why? And it's a cursed item, so you can't take it off. Or you have the Eye of Demos. The brand can see up to a mile away perfectly, but only through one eye. Yeah, you can't... with... The idea here would be, your one eye can see a mile away, the other one can't. So it would be like you're looking through 2 different eyes. So I would say, take a penalty to things. The Heretic's Dragon Sigil, +2 FP, but you cannot use Spear, Healing, or Protection magic. And guess who's probably going to be pretty good with that? It's going to be someone like a Shaman or someone like that. Moon Charm, brand gains +1 PD MD. Ring of the White Elk, +2 damage when using unarmed attacks. Spriggan Boots. And the Warden's Sash. Usually things are pretty simple. If you want to go really weird and wacky with them, you can. And actually, I should say, is trinkets. Let's put a footnote in here. Let's see, most of which were +1 to this or +10% to this. Okay, in the reading there were dozens of trinkets. Most were +1 to this or +5 to that, 5% to that. Do as thy will, but anything useful should always have a downside. There we go. And then we have exterior equipment. Now, I chose not to have like a bunch of different kinds of equipment, with the exclusive idea that you're going to be able to refill these. These aren't special item. This isn't a key. The key isn't important. This is a health potion. This is this. So I kind of went a little bit more to the Dark Souls angle with this, and you only have a few options. Notably is you have the Angel tier, which is your Estus flask. You just restore 1d6 HP. You can actually, let me see. Yeah, so you can pretty much if you select I want an angel tier. I want the angel tiers. You're going to have 3 angel tiers. You can pop it open, drink it, and you're going to restore 1d6 HP. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have a little low health, it does mean a lot. And the only odd one is you have the Gambler's Coin, which you only have one of at any one point, and you can reroll any check. You say, okay, I'm going to use my Gambler's Coin to reroll my agility check. I succeed now. I might have failed or something like that. Just reroll any check. Actually, reroll any check or actually reroll any roll. And I'm going to put a footnote right here. Any roll. So damage, skill check, attribute check, raw luck, random luck check, etc. Lightning. Then we have the stones. The idea behind the stones is that you hit the stones and you can now do that elemental and damage. Kind of using the idea of the the resin from Dark Souls 3. So yeah, those are the kind of the basic ideas there. And we're going to do the advancement, and then we're going to do the enemies. Generally speaking, oh yeah, and I did move to an echo. I did move Emran down so we can actually get his talents, otherwise known as Devil Soul and Gnome Soul, kind of reflected here. Like, yeah, the entire idea is that Emran is pretty competent. Problem is, he's kind of an idiot at the same time. He's not a very smart man. He is, however, a very survival-focused man. Hence why he has things like monster lore, and actually has decent demon lore compared to everybody else. His FP is pretty large, so I'll probably... At the very end, I'll probably do another one with him, just to kind of say, like, this is what the final Emran would look like. This, I'm going to mark this in red so I don't forget that I need to fix that. So, life, death, and growth. Because yes, dying is important in this game. If you haven't caught on to that yet. So, death is inevitable. Like taxes. Let's see. Death is inevitable. And when a branded perishes, it is not their end. It is not their end. The branded will come back to life. Back to life at the end of the current phase. End of the current phase. End of the current phase. Or round for the climax phase. We'll come back to life or round the perfect. Come back to life at the end of the current phase or round for the climax phase. But something about them has changed. They are quote lesser than what they were, than what they previously were. When a branded dies, so how's the mood? Doing alright. Life's okay. Took a walk today. My phone lied to me, saying like, oh, it's like 40 degrees outside. I walk outside, it's like 60. It was awful. I wore my heavy coat. You open. You don't need to be open. Yeah, today's been like, oh, like one of those like perfectly okay days. That's what I always like sometimes. It's okay to have a perfectly okay day. I think people are like, it's a good day or it's a bad day. Like, no, it's okay to have a okay. So let's see. When a branded dies, they will roll 2d6. 2d6. One die will determine which attribute is being targeted, and the other will show how many attribute, how do I want to show? Actually, one will determine which attribute is being targeted, and the other will show how many attribute points it will fall. It will decrease. So we have 2d6, we roll. I rolled, that's a really bad example. I rolled a 4 and a 5. So my 5 attribute, or I can reduce it by 4, or I can reduce my 4 attribute by 5. Both of which are pretty bad. That's actually a really bad roll. Other will determine how many attribute points it will decrease. It will decrease. Nightmare Reaper? Never heard of it. What's it about? Give me the lowdown there. Let's see. I do like my boomer shooters, so. When random dice, roll 2d6. Determine the attribute being targeted, and the other one, how many attributes it will decrease. These two die can be swapped. Roguelike boomer shooter. Nah. Roguelites. I like Here's the thing. I like roguelites. But sometimes they can get a little annoying. They're a little bit prevalent. So sometimes I'm like, anytime I see it, I'm like, It's like anytime I go on it and I just see the word salads, it's like, oh no. Let's see, these two dice can be swapped around. To determine which attribute. By how much. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go here. We're going to swing all the way up. We need to get all of our attributes. There we go. And then we're going to do one. Actually, do we do a table or do we do, let's make it a table. Tables are pretty. This is inevitable. We'll come back to life. We'll determine how many attributes it will decrease. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the insert table 2x2 because we like tables. And nope, I'm going to have to input them all manually because I hate. Now, here's a life hack for everybody. If you put it in the wrong side, just do Control-C, Control-V. Actually, I should add another row above, which is going to be attribute. We do that, and then we do roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so kind of the idea behind this. So kind of like the idea is something like this. So you died. Let's see which attribute. I'm going to roll my dice. I rolled a 1 and a 4. So I can either reduce my strength by 1 point, because I can use that 4 to determine which it is, and reduce it by 1 point, or I can reduce my agility, as it's a 1, by 4 points. Now, this may seem like, well, obviously you're always going to go for the lowest one. However, if you have a really low attribute, maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to do that. Or maybe you really need that agility. Maybe you can forego that strength just a little bit. Should be fine, right? You could do it, right? Just a little bit. Just a smidge. What I am going to do, these guys, alter. Alternatively, a branded may select the highest die. May select the highest die. Actually, alternatively, a branded may select the lowest die, and reduce their weakness. Reduce their what's a good word for like a really weak attribute, like an insane, like this is like your problem child attribute. And reduce their weak attribute. And reduce their weak attribute instead. So if we go with this, we add a column to the right. We do the weakness. So if we go to all of the classes real fast, all the classes. So I think warrior is going to be wisdom. Actually, warrior, we can actually make warrior agility. Mage is going to be, resilience, obviously. Priest we can make resilience. Thief is going to be their strength. Merchant is going to be their luck. Entertainer is going to be their strength, wisdom. Actually, no. Agi, wisdom. Because this is the one that is not your primary attribute. We don't have it in the attribute. What am I thinking? Actually, we can do sty, whiz. So the idea being that these are attributes that are the climax phase. It's been a while since I've actually had decent wine. I'm actually not that big of a wine guy, but I understand why people like it. So we put it up here. Who pinged me? My boy Endo wanting to inquire about my character and put my OSR game that my friend's running. There's no such thing as bad wine to me. Ugh. Bad wine. I've had bad wine before. I've had good wine and bad wine. I worked at a tap house, effectively run by a vineyard, and a good wine is like silk. It's like, I'm not a wine guy. I don't like drinking wine, but it's like, that's some good shit. Shit tier wine is like drinking it's awful. It is like drinking sandpaper. Because your mouth just dries out immediately. There's no taste. It's awful. It is the worst shit. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. So let's see who. So it's going to be the bandit and the warrior. Bandit and warrior. Martial artist. And shaman. Ranger shaman. Not wuss. Just realized I put that down. Mage and priest. Merchant is the only one who's going to reduce his luck, but that's very appropriate. Entertainer and Adaka. Actually, what I could do is make the Hadaka reduce his luck while the Entertainer and Merchant reduce their strength. Or do we want to make that the style? Kind of like you're going insane. No. We'll keep the Entertainer. Hadaka's just going to be reduced their style. The Merchant's going to reduce his luck. The Entertainer's going to reduce strength. Entertainer and Thief are going to reduce strength. Okay. So agility, the Bandit and the Warrior. The luck is going to be reduced by the Merchant. Resilience is going to be Mage and Priest. Strength is going to be the Entertainer and Thief. Style is going to be the Hadaka. The Wisdom is going to be the Shaman. Martial Arts Ranger Shaman. Do that. Table properties. Yeah, that should work. Moonshine. Oh, God. I've had like a little bit of moonshine. That shit puts you on your ass. See, what I want to do is I want to drink absinthe. That's like the big thing I would like to drink. It's just like, give me a little bit of absinthe. I'd love... Ethanol. Ethanol. Ethanol? No, that was not it. It must have been something else called ethanol. It smells some medical alcohol. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. What am I thinking of? It wasn't called ethanol. Was it called ethanol? Like, it was a shitty brand of whiskey. I remember it wasn't whiskey, it was something I had. It was some jank ass shit. I'm like, yeah, ethanol. Oh, gas? Gas, like, the weird smell of gas when you're walking by the fucking, you know, the gas station, good shit. Idaho was a wacky place, let's just say that. Actually, we do, can we make that a little bit smaller? There we go. These two dice can be swapped around to determine the attribute. So let's say, for example, I roll, I got a 1 and a 5. I can reduce my agility by 5 points, my style by 1 point, or let's say I'm a bandit, let's say I'm a merchant, I can reduce my luck by 1. You can always reduce your weakness, but you can never, I think the best way to word it, you can always reduce your weakness, but it's always going to be 1 attribute. So if you roll really poorly, that's why dubs are really good or really bad. If you roll double 6s, you're going to reduce your wisdom by 6 unless you have a weakness in it. Which you're still going to reduce it by 6. But if you roll double 1s, you're going to be able to reduce your agility by 1 unless you have a weakness, unless you have your weaknesses somewhere. So dubs already have the kind of like their big issue, which kind of maintains the theme of the game, where like doubles are bad. There is an actually, let's do. There is an upside, however. There is an upside. Dying is knowledge. Dying is knowledge. For every attribute point lost during death, the branded gains plus 5% to distribute to any attribute, any skill of their choice. Distribute this to any set of skills. Skills of their choice, related to the attribute. There we go. That's what that'll be the balancing factor. So we can do. So we need to go to skills. Okay, so wisdom is going to be knowledge skills. Lore. Actually, it's going to be knowledge, lore, or magic. Resilience is going to be physical. Physical or weapon skills. Style is going to be social skills. Yeah, we'll say social skills and resilience is going to be remarkably pretty standard. Physical, social, special. Luck. Special skills. Yep, you reduce your luck, you can distribute it to your special skills. Actually, we can do any skills to any skill. And agility is going to be physical to physical. Actually, yeah, we'll do physical or knowledge skills. There we go. So the idea is we roll. I take 4 damage to my... Give me a good roll. My agility. So I take 4 damage to my agility. I have 20 points I can distribute to any of my physical skills or any of my knowledge skills. This is how you level up. Hence why, you know, it's... People are weak in certain attributes that maybe not really fit their particular wet play style, which is kind of an issue. Fuck a duck. We do 10 Ubuntu. Why do you look so pretty and you don't? Oh yeah, because you have the roll there. We do that. Nope. We do that. That. Can we shift you over just a smidge? Can we shift you open just a smidge? There, there, there. We do this. Center the. Let's keep it white. Actually, do we bump you up to 12? Or actually, no. Why don't we just make you 10? There we go. Have you ever wrote a game where you're the feet of a person? Well, technically, you're always technically in the boots of another human being or another person. However, so I can't really stop you there unless you want to do some weird QWOP game. See, there's a game design challenge for all you folks. Make QWOP the role-playing game. Do that as a fucking meme game once. Everyone has to work together to try to make this guy function. We slap an image right there. What I wish I could do is put these and like just move this over slightly. Unless gamer move, everybody. Gamer move. Insert a column to the left. We do that. We do that. We try to balance you just right. We delete that. That looks really weird. Maybe I can like put you over just a smidge. Put you like that. That still looks fucking wonk. That looks wonky. I don't like it. Everything's bad and wrong. So yeah, okay. We need a choice related to the attribute. Upside. There's an upside. Oh wow, you know, you can gain points. You're going to get stronger. Actually, what we can do because of that, to make sure that I don't have a fucking stroke looking at this, we're going to put this in the middle. But we're going to have to put a note here, which is if any attribute were to reach zero, and not be restored by the end of the adventure, the branded dies. Actually, if any attribute were to reach zero and not be restored, if any attribute were to reach zero and not be restored, the branded will have perished. At the end of the adventure. At the end of the phase. Which, what we can do, we go to exterior equipment, we reduce this down a little bit. Which we add. We're just going to add a row below. The Martyr's Token. Insert footnote. This is an item that can be found on enemies. Simply increasing an attribute by 1, and it cannot be restored at the hub or rest or during the rest phase. So you have to ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself, is getting +1 to an attribute worth it? Or maybe you want to get some actual healing. Maybe grabbing some more angel tears would be useful. Maybe grabbing an antidote herb. Maybe grabbing bandages rather than a martyr's token. But that's going to be the only thing that's going to save you during these that last phase. You know, if you have 0, if any attribute were to reach 0 and not be restored, the brand will have perished at the end of the phase. The player will then make a new branded on their journey with no advancements. Yep, you are kind of almost expected to die a little bit, but it's kind of the point. But is that a bad thing necessarily? You are expected to die. So we have all of this. What I'm gonna do is do that and that to make it look a little bit nicer after tables, not before. Okay. Awesome. So life, death, and growth is done. We'll probably do an example with Emran there just to make sure people understand. Now we get to do the fun part, otherwise known as enemies, enemy design, enemy knows, enemies, foes, demons. How do I want to word this? How do I want to do this? Why? No. Okay, so enemies, foes, and demons. During their journey, the branded will engage a series of enemies who would like nothing more than to gut them and send them to their graves. This isn't even counting the demon who lords above them, fully intending to feast upon their branded souls. Okay, so enemies. Actually, how do I want to word this? Let's go to Dragonquest enemies. Tell me more about Dragonquest. List of enemies in Dragonquest monsters: slimes, dragon, beast, bird, plant, bug, devil, zombie, material. Bone Zone. It's always interesting when you realize like how simple Dragon Quest 1 was compared to like compared to what you would think of like the newer ones. It was like a very simple amount. Yeah. Left the message. The cable bears his name. Yeah, you end up with a lot of let's think. Ooh. All right. Enemies are broken. Series our builds are similar to the branded. Enemies are similar to the branded, each possessing HP, PD, and MD to reflect their current health and protection. However, enemies do not have stats necessarily, but instead possess a series of attacks and weapons and tools to assist them in combat. Each enemy is actually, let's see, each enemy is given a A monster. How do I want to word this? It would be a monster. And a monster level, which determines their overall strength. Strength and ability. The higher the monster level, the more health, PD, and PD, MD, and attacks they possess. So these are similar to the brand, each possessing. We want to make something really simple. We want to make a very basic enemy. And we're going to make a very basic enemy. Let's go here. Tell me more about Dragonquest monsters. We're going to make something. Well, let's. Bone Zone. Here we go. Here we're going to make the Bone Zone man. Here's Bone Zone. We need to make this into a viable enemy in Midnight Anima. Into the Bone Zone man. I'm more ignorant than stupid, either because I don't have the time, patience, or mental fortitude for a lot of shit. Yeah, pretty much summarizes most people. Not gonna lie. Let's be honest, that describes about a majority of the server. I love all you guys, but God, you guys, my brain hurts some days with you folks. So let's see. So we will do a Maro Slave, and we'll say he's monster level. We'll say he's monster level 2. He isn't very scary. So we'll say his. So let's say ML equals. Actually, so let's do HP equals let's say 10 plus ML times 3 times 6 times 10. Let's do ML times 5. So the Maro Slave with that is that with 2 times 5 would be, so he would have 20 HP. And he doesn't have focus points, but he's going to have a physical defense. Then we do physical defense / magical defense equals ML times 2 distributed. Actually, we'll do ML times 4 distributed. So since he has A, we'll say he has a 6 here because he's wearing armor. And he's going to have 2 in here. And then he has attacks. And then attacks equal ML. Yeah, let's say his attacks equals ML, but what would his initiative be? Well, actually, you know what we'll do? Roll 2d6. That's your initiative. That's his initiative value. We'll do per attack. His attack. He's going to have 2 attacks. He's going to do on turn 7. Club. He's only going to do. It's going to do 1d6 plus. What does a club? How much damage does a club do? 1d3. He's going to do 2. Let's say he's going to do 2d3 damage. The club is going to do 2d3 damage. Plus 1. It's going to be 2d3 plus 2 damage. And that's going to go on initiative 7. His second attack is going. Actually, what we can do. We just do a club beat down. Combo initiative 7. Okay. So if we go with this idea, on initiative 7, this enemy is going to do the club beatdown move. He's going to attack you twice. He's going to pick a target and he's going to attack them twice. And he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to hit you. And if you fail to hit, let's just say you just fucking fail. What's going to happen, he's going to roll 2d3. So he's going to hit for 4 plus 2. He's going to do 6 damage. And he's also going to do 6 damage. He rolled 3s twice. He rolled a bunch of 3s and 4s. So he's going to do 6 damage twice. He's going to do 12 damage to you. If you fail, minus whatever your PD is for each attack. Doesn't seem like a lot, and that's the point. You're not supposed to do a shit ton of damage. Maybe though, how much? What would your physical defense be? Your physical defense would be your resilience divided by 2, and your resilience is going to be averaged out. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because you're going to be able to take a little bit of damage, but this is a ML2 monster. This isn't really supposed to be very, very scary. So if we do this, 2d6 per 2d6 in attack, 2d6 in attack, and this is an enemy right here, monster slave, Mara slave. I feel like I'm missing something. That should work. Okay. One. Actually, here, you know what we're going to do? This is a side note by Notepad Anon. This is a side note by Notepad Anon. I cannot find the bestiary. It is referenced and noted with some common factors. But generally speaking, what I could find was scattered notes more than anything. Constructing these together, here is a basic understanding of how to quote build an enemy rather than having a full bestiary simply due to it not being there. Let's see, not being able to be translated or even found. When designing enemies, do whatever. Follow these basic guidelines, but understand that it's entirely up to you. Entirely up to the dungeon keeper on how to proceed. How to proceed forward. Yeah, this is a side. There we go. See, the beautiful thing is that I can just blame anything that seems a little bit wonky. Be like, yeah, no, the translation's fucked. Wow. I'm only human. The Russians can't translate everything for me. The fictional Russian man. Tax. We'll do footnote. Answer to when there isn't a consistent answer here. Simply that there isn't a consistent answer here. Simply that there is, in fact, that each initiative is set after rolling. It's set after rolling or being determined. There we go. We're going to make a insert table. We want to merge these cells. Merge these cells. Merge. Actually, we can delete this row. There we go. Why is there bacon wrapped around your arm? That's supposed to be a bloody bandage. But bacon does sound good. Hello, Manly, by the way. Yeah, we're just working on not my Tulpa's game. It's not a Tulpa, guys. It's not a Tulpa. And generally speaking, trying to make sure things work. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, Manly, you've been able to avoid the worst of my going insane over PBTA during my midnight runs in A&A. So actually, can we do... Yes, okay, I can. We're going to be making a monster level 4. If we use this, 4 times 5 is 20, so that means you're going to have 30 HP. 4 times 4 is going to be 16. That means we could distribute 16 points. You're going to have pretty high MD. Let's say you're going to have a big MD here. Actually, we'll be an asshole. Construct, and you're going to have a wizard. D will say demon sigils attacks. We're going to have, instead you're going to have 4 attacks, you're going to have a knife, which is going to do 1d3. It's going to do 1d3 damage at initiative. Initiative 5, so you're going to go really fucking slow here. You're also going to have Magic Blast, in which we're going to say it's going to do 2d6 damage. It's going to do 2d6 damage times 2, because you're going to get 2 attacks for it. It's going to be at initiative 8. And your third and final attack, we're going to give you a... We're going to give you another... We're going to say we're going to give you another knife attack. Not a combo. You're just going to get a knife attack. The authentic British experience. So 7. So what's going to happen is... this. You're going... The first thing he's going to do is blast somebody with magic twice. He's going to be doing upwards of 4d6 damage to a single person as they desperately dodge. Then you're going to have the knight. Then he's going to try to stab someone for a little bit of damage. Then he's going to try to stab somebody again. He isn't going to do a lot of damage with the stabs, but he doesn't need to do a lot of damage. Yeah, no, it's a lot of, yeah. So we already kind of got this. He has a lot of health, but that's a fine. Because you're only going to be fighting like 1 or 2 demon cultists at a time, demonic cultists. Okay. So kind of giving an example of like how you can do things. But we're going to have to put it in this. I have no idea where to put this. Actually, no, we'll do important note. There is combo strikes. I have no idea where to put this, but enemies may have a thing called a combo. May have a combo. When an enemy uses an attack with a combo, they will attack the same target as many times as they can, forcing them to block or dodge each attack. Defense actions that break a combo. See, defense actions that break a combo will stop the entire combo from continuing. There we go. Because the entire idea is that this is somebody rocking up to you, like, I'm going to hit you multiple times with like a fucking sword or something, and you say no. You reject that bullshit. It's you parrying the blade out of the way. It's you doing something to make sure you don't get hurt. So actually what we can do is remove the bullet points. Can I get away with the footnote here? If I do insert footnote, do that, paste. So we select everything here, select. There we go. Oof, God. Oh, why are you so... Life hack. Time for some life hack gamer moves where you just change the font. Change the font size so even to deliberately fuck up how Google Docs chooses to translate things. So these are basic enemies and they should work the way I want them to. So here's some examples. Here's how combo strikes works. So the Morrow Slave, for example, is going to be able to hit someone twice as a combo, but you can break, if you parry the first attack, you're not going to get hit by the second. Hence why parries are very good. If it's not a combo, it's just blasting something twice. You're just doing 2 of an attack. So, which brings us to demons. Demons. See, I'm not cringe. I didn't do the D-A-E-M-N. I don't understand why people do that with daemons. Like, that always has a very specific connotation to me, and that's always like very like cyberpunk stuff. If it's like, oh yeah, this is a daemon, then like, okay, yeah, fine. Which is weird because it sounds archaic, but if like fucking like wizard, you know, wizard is like, oh no, the demons are coming, and they spell it like that, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not in there. But if you have some like hacker man with a fucking like LED, with a flat screen TV straight to his face, I'm like, yeah, okay, naturally he's doing some stuff with demons. Hello, K9. Like, it just makes complete sense. I don't know why. It's one of those things. But demons. Demons are built similarly to standard monsters. Built similarly to standard monsters. However, there is one key. There's one key difference. Demons are built different. Yeah, pretty much. Demons are monstrous threats. Threats that will kill the branded. A demon's monster level is instead converted to the demon level, which is the strength of their soul, and power, which the branded crave. With the branded crave. The demon level is if the branded overcome the demon, then they will be able to reap the rewards of that demon's soul, of that demon's abilities, devouring its essence to continue living. Because that's the entire idea of like why you're doing things, is because you are dying. You've been killed already by a demon and they've brought you back to life. So they're doing this effectively for the memes, and unfortunately for them, you're also a guy with a sword. So I'm gonna do that because you're all awesome. It's going to be HP is going to be we're gonna say let's say 20 times demon level times 3. Actually, times. Actually, we'll say 5. Yeah, we'll keep it at 5. DL times 3. Attacks DL plus 2. And initiative plus 2. Plus 2 per attack. So, we're going to make a very simple monster. We're going to make a very simple demon. General Bogdanov. Demon level 7. Demon level 8. DL, so he's going to have HP 20 plus maybe 40. So he has 60 HP. His demon level times 3 is 8 times 3, which is going to be 1624. That's a little bit high. Let's do DL times 2 because we want this level to be a little bit higher. Or we just say actually, here's what we can do. PD/MD, which is going to be the demon level, which is going to be the demon level distributed plus armor, plus any armor they're wearing. So since he's 8, he's going to have 8. He's going to have 6 armor here, and he's only going to have 2 here, but he's going to be wearing plate. So he's going to have let's say he's going to have 10 PD, which is he's wearing his, it would be medium armor. Armor plus DL. Armor plus 6. 2. Demonic. And now so he gets 10 attacks. So his first attack. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Demon ability. Yeah. So let's say he's going to have his... So he's going to have 10 attacks effectively. Let's just give him Chaos Sword. That's going to do... You play as John Demon, which is going to do 40... Let's say... No, he's going... His Chaos Sword is going to do 3d10 plus 2 damage, which is pretty much instantly lethal to everybody. And it's going to be times 2. Actually, he's going to do... This is going to be a 3 combo, and his initiative is going to be 8. And it's going to be initiative 8. So that's 3 of his initial 8. Actually, 3 of his initial 10. So we're going to give him a breath weapon. We're going to do 2d6 damage. It's going to be a group attack. It's going to be initiative 6. Actually, initiative 8 as well. I won't roll that. Roll a 3. It's going to be initiative 5. Fire. Let's do a fire breath weapon. 2d6. It's going to do group, so that's going to be 2. We'll say that's 2. Let's see if we can give them some fun effects. Let's do some fun things because I'm a... let's do decapitation strike, 3d6, and it's going to have pierce plus dismember, and it's going to be at initiative 7. He's going to be able to do this multiple times, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He gets 1 more attack. Let's do a... You know what? Let's give him an extra attack on his fucking sword. You know, the thing that could technically do, if he hits you early on, he's going to be able to do 12d10 plus 12d10 plus 8 damage, which is death. You're just going to die. Someone is just going to get mulched. But is that really a bad thing, though? That's the thing. Like, is it necessarily a bad thing? Because if one person gets mulched, that means he's burnt all of his attacks on a single thing. Or if you parry the fucking guy, if you parry him, he ain't gonna do jack shit. What we can actually do is we're going to assign this as enraged. Actually, what we can do, demon's ability to devour is to continue living. One of the demon's attacks, actually, no, okay, what we'll do is, half of the demon's attacks must be dedicated as an enraged attack. When the demon hits 50% HP, then they will become enraged. Enraged, allowing the use of those attacks. So he's gonna do, so since he has a total of 10 attacks, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. So he would have to do, the big thing is he's going to be making this big ass combo, but he can get parried out of it pretty easily. If one competent person can parry it, he's going to be able to just parry out of everything, and he's just going to get wombo comboed the entire rest of the round. So combat is a D100 system where the enemies do not roll. So for example, I want to hit him. And let's say I have, actually, we'll use Emran as an example here. Hello, Emran, how are you? This is Emran. Let's say, for example, he wants to shoot him with a bow. He has a 25% in his bow. Maybe that's a terrible idea. Maybe we should use something actually decent. Do I have actually anything decent? Spirit magic. Let's say spirit magic, for example. I want to use spirit magic, and we'll use the gauntlet. I want to hit the demon with my gauntlet. I want to shoot out some lightning at them. And I'm going to roll my dice. And I rolled a 38. I successfully hit him. And my gauntlet is, since he has that, I think it's going to do like 1d6 plus 2 damage. I'm going to roll. I did 5 damage to him. That's it. Well, let's say he's attacking me with his sword. I'm going to get attacked, and he's going to fuck my day up. So I want to try to dodge. I want to try to block. So I'm gonna try to block. And I'm gonna roll, and I failed. I rolled a 93. So he's gonna block. So he isn't gonna be able to do it. But let's say you're playing like a warrior or something, and your block is like 70. If your block is really high, then yeah, you're going to be able to block their moves, unless it's considered things like unblockable, which none of his moves are. All his moves are blockable. So what I should do, yeah, so actually we'll say, yeah, all his attacks are technically blockable, parryable, and all that jazz. And that's fine. We wanted to do that. What we can do is side note, alternate uses of attacks. Alternate uses of attacks. Attacks do not always need to be strictly designated to. Let's see. The attacks do not always need to be strictly designated to a particular attribute. Designated to a particular attack, but instead modifying the attack, such as adding additional effects such as group attacks, range attacks, or even let's see, group attacks or range strikes. The monster or demon can also add unblockable, undodgeable, or unparryable. Can also add unblockable, undodgeable, or unparryable to their attacks. For combos, this is required for every attack in the combo. For example, if General Bogdanov up here wanted to make the Chaos Sword unblockable. blockable, he would need 4 extra attacks. He would need 4 extra attacks. So that's kind of the balancing factor. You may not be able to do it very well, but it's kind of like, yeah, you're going to get kind of swacked if you don't do things right. So it's kind of you building it like, yeah, modify things as you wish. However, understand that the player will always subvert everything you wish to do. That's one thing I've always learned, is that players will find a way. And what I should add is enemies. How do I want to word this? I need to put you at 10. Alternate uses of attacks. We want to do that. And weaknesses. Side note, weaknesses. Weaknesses, simply stating to a creature is weak to something. And simply is weak to something. Primarily elements. Designate every enemy. Every enemy should have a weakness. Should have a weakness of some kind. Primarily elemental. Primarily elemental. Every enemy should have a weakness of some kind. Primarily elemental, but it is not required. Remember, be a dick. It's funnier that way. There we go. So that should be everything, actually. Feel like I'm missing something. Am I missing something? We already have General Bogdanov. The General, it was... Yeah, here's... One thing I'm a little bit worried about is that the demon HP is going to be pretty high, but even here, like 60 HP, and if you hit correctly with things like, hell, even things like the heavy crossbow can do 3d10 damage, because it's a heavy fucking crossbow. The problem is you need 50% on it, and if you miss, you're going to waste a turn doing it, and they're going to be able to still hurt you pretty well. I guess I could actually even, you know what, I can actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bump up the HP, actually. You're going to be 15 instead, so you'll be 25 and you'd be 35. You're going to do... We're going to be making you 7? Actually, what's a evil... bad number in Japan? What's a bad number? 4 is bad. Torturing and suffering. Now, if I wanted to be a real dick, I'd do that. DL times 9. Which, if we do DL times 9, this would be 72 plus... Actually, 72... plus 20, he would have 92 HP. Fuck it, let's... He would have 92 HP. He'd be pretty fucking meaty, but he is a goddamn boss monster. And because he's a goddamn boss monster, you should be really wanting to use everything you have on him. And you have 3 to 4 people wailing on the guy with 2 actions apiece. So let's say it is a standard weapon, like standard battle axe, you're going to be doing, if you hit well on average, you're going to be doing 3.5, 7, you're going to be doing about 10 damage minima. You're going to be doing about 10 damage, average with things like a battle axe, with things like dismember on, and then this isn't even factoring in things like bleed, which you're going to be able to bleed enemies, and then you just have someone to run defense, and then you can still do things like bleeding, and yeah, all right, yeah, no, that works. Manipulate the weakness. Actually, weakness some private not required. When the weakness is exploited, ignore all MD or PD. Ignore all PD and MD for the attack. This does factor in this does factor in the dismember effect. So if you know, hey, wait, that enemy is like, oh wait a second, that enemy is weak to lightning, then maybe we can exploit that. And actually what we can do is we can add, wait. We'll do like notes. Can I make this smaller? Yes, I can make this smaller. Insert table 2x2. We do that. We put you there. We select all of you. We drag you kicking and screaming. Google, please. Just want to drag you right in there. And then we select all of you. We delete. That includes you. We hit this, we go down here, we paste this here. Life hack, we make that 2-point font. Note. Let's see, General Bogdanov will always target warriors and warriors first. Always target front line, the largest branded first. Let's see. So yeah, that's first things first. He's going to try to kill what he believes to be the strongest. Always target the largest branded first. And what would be another good note? Weak to lightning. There we go. Now, mind you, this is the other kind of big note, is that the players do not know this. They're going to have to roll demon lore to actually figure out that, wait a second, he's weak to lightning, or wait a second, he's going to target the largest branded first. Like, that's what he wants to kill. So they're going to have to like make a check to determine, like, hey, wait a second, this is why he's acting this way. This is why Mr. Bogdanov wants to kill us in this particular situation, is because, oh, he's targeting the largest person. He's targeting the warrior or something. Cool. We may be able to use this now. We can exploit him. Like, maybe we can protect him. Maybe we know he's going to attack this guy constantly. So let's just give him a shit ton of buffing stuff so he will never die. Or we can make sure, if the warrior knows, he's going to start, like, I'm just going to fortify up. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to make myself as defensive as possible. And since he's weak to lightning, maybe we want to use lightning attacks on him. Like, here's some lightning magic. Here's this. Here's these lightning stones we have. Let's coat our weapons with that and then hit him, which we can ignore his insane armor. Actually, what we can do is weak to lightning and wind. There we go. Think smart. Alright, that, I think, actually summarizes most everything. What I'm gonna do is something else. We're gonna go to... We're gonna do this. We don't need any of the Cav stuff, obviously, because it's not Cav stuff. Skills, we don't need any of this shit. POV, you are watching Notepad make a goddamn character sheet. Live. As you can tell, I don't actually make character sheets very often. It's like I hate making character sheets because I'm really bad at it. Luckily, there's a nice even number, not like fucking Metal Saviors with its stupid amount of them. Okay, we got all of you. We don't actually have to worry about level, luckily, in this particular game. Midnight Anima sample, just to make sure everything is correct. We don't need to worry about any of you, so you can go over there. Let's put you right there, and we'll put the health, we'll put the HP, FP. What we can do here is PD, MD. Life hack: if you ignore your problems, it'll go away. Class. That's what I gotta do. I'll do. We put you right here. It's probably like the least efficient way of doing things, but it's also very simple at the same time, so I don't think about it too hard. We do that, we do that. Couldn't do my awesome little hack I usually do. that. We don't need the level bonus because we don't have to think about the level bonus. We only have to think about the skills. And we can move. All of you are going to go the way of the dodo. Okay. No, Pat's here. Will you channel Miyazaki's foot fetish into the RPG? No. We are not channeling anyone's foot fetish. No, never. We never will. There will be no foot fetishism here. I already have to go over a Vor RPG this weekend. I am not going deeper. Please, God. Whoa. Go away, metal sabers. We don't need. So we need agility. Not strength. It's agility. Luck, resilience, strength, style, wisdom, HP, FP, PD, MD, skill. So we're going to do, name is going to be Emrin the Shaman. Class is going to be a shaman. He's going to be Shaman 1, which reminds me I need to do that. Player is going to be Notepad add-on concept. Hack fraud shaman. And because he is can move up this way, brings me to Midnight Anima. Bring Emrin, where are you? Emrin, my boy. Emrin. Yeah, Emrin rolled really bad stats. He has an 8, 10, 4 resilience, 10 strength, 13 style, and 6 wisdom. He is literally the most stylish motherfucker around, but he cannot take a punch, which is like his biggest problem. That does put his HP is 8 out of 8. His FP is 6. And his physical defense is 2. And his MD is 3. Yeah, Emrin really sucks as a wizard, but he's very stylish. And then we scroll all the way down to Emrin here, which we select all his current skills. We actually don't even need this. Actually, what we can do is bonuses. This is demon lore would be nah, well, we don't need that. I guess we just scrap that. We don't. There we go. So this is what a very simple character might look like. This is just my sample. This is just Emrin. Emrin, a sample character. But that reminds me we can put in the giant notes and such right here. Where do you put the weapon stuff? In notes. Actually, we shall do equipment, notes, and spell, and there we go. And since he is a shaman, His weakness is, if I remember correctly, wisdom. So I'm going to put a little X next to it. That's his weakness. So he can always reduce his wisdom, which is really low already. Cool. So since this is, yeah, all right. What was the Vor RPG? That is going to be Heroines of the First Age. We're gonna go over it this weekend. Kind of came out of nowhere. Not gonna lie, that one kind of threw me for a loop, guys. Not gonna lie, I was just reading the game about monster girls, and then boom, Vor, and it was like, well then. I mean, you kind of lost me there for a moment, but now, well, now I'm just horrified. Yeah, this weekend's going to be rough. Let's just say that this weekend is going to be a rough experience. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not, because it's going to suck. That's the secret. It's going to suck this weekend because it's like, oh sweet Jesus. Like, have you ever just read something and you want to doubt that it's real, but you know it's not, and everything about it's just like, please, God, no, please, anything but this. Okay, so this is going to be Emerald Sample 1. Which means I gotta go all the way down here to Advancement, Life, Death, and Growth. What we can do actually is heading to Survival of the Fittest. Survival of the Fittest. So, if a branded survives an adventure, they will go up. They will go up a level. They will go up a level, allowing them to take an additional, allowing them to increase the rank of a class. Increase the rank of a class. When the branded takes a rank in a class, they gain the following. They gain two of the following. +1. Actually, +1 in an attribute. Actually, no, we'll do +1 in an attribute, plus 10% to any of that class's skills. Actually, in a favored attribute, we'll do footnote, any attribute with a +1 or above bonus. +1 in the favorite attribute, plus 10% to any of that class's. Let's see. Plus 10% to any of the. We'll do plus 20% in any of the class's skills. Skills distributed. That means you can kind of. Actually, among any of the class's skills. One of the class's talents, or one of the class's talents. That should be really everything. Actually, we'll do plus 10% among any of. No. Actually, no, we'll do plus 10% in open standard item and open standard skills. So pretty much anytime you level up, you're going to be able to get any of these. One of the class's talents, But you have to survive. That's the entire idea. Not exactly the most complicated. You're just going to gain a level. That class is... yeah, this is kind of a weird thing to kind of put, but I can't really put it anywhere else. So, the idea behind this, if we take this is, you know, Emrin. Good old Emrin, man. What I can do. And we'll do... talent effect, which we need to open that up a little bit. Then we find where's Emrin. Let's do Ubuntu. There we go. Everything should look just fine now. Cool. Okay. No, this isn't a TG game. This is not Mayesta. No, this is Heroines of the First Age, which Heroines of the First Age is... let's just say we've gone over this person before. And I was posting some images of it the other day, and I was like, well, this is horrifying. Well, this is awful. So let's say Emrin levels up, he takes up Entertainer. Entertainer 1. God damn it. And so since he takes an Entertainer 1, he's going to be able to take one of the Entertainer skills. Let's see, what would he want to take from the Entertainer? We'll give him like Comrade, for example. Actually, no, you take this. Let's be honest. We got to think what our boy here, our boy Emrin, would think. And Emrin's an asshole. And he would probably take a... in any of that class's skills. Would he take any... take one attribute... So yeah, let's say what are the skills? What's the skills of the Entertainer? The Entertainer has, so he'd be able to pick up Performance. I don't know why this is here. We'll do. There we go. This is what he would end up with. Ta-da! That's how you make characters. Not exactly the most complicated thing in the world, but it works. It works. So, that is pretty much it. I'm just going to do a once-over and see if there's anything that I missed. I did see one thing, but I just want to make sure. Class skills, we don't really need to worry about that as much. talents. So stun. Add stun. Let's do initiative. Store that much HP. Physical defense. Inflict confuse. So we need to add confuse. Add confuse. When attacked, redirect the attack to an ally. He's defeated. Crystal clear. Magic check once per phase. Counter spell. Oh, knockdown. Merchants and salespeople, identification checks. Less to the next skill check. Add 5. Road makes range attack. Road back. Kyoto. Double 10s. Perfect. Survival of the fittest. We already kind of went over those. Any successful move. Move, maybe move a row. Ooh, sneezed. Snoozed. Follow up. Resilience. No, I don't think I think those are the only two that I needed to be really. Let's see. Okay, yeah, no, actually, we already have Confuse. It's in the Drain Mage craft thing, but that's something that's pretty easy to understand. Knockdown. Do I have Knockdown anywhere? I have it exactly once. Actually, next melee attack. Let's not do Inflict Knockdown. There we go. Next melee attack, the target cannot use their next melee attack. There we go. So the idea being, like, you can leg sweep. We're going to bump the cost up pretty high for that then. You can, that's pretty much a stun on a demon. Being like, yeah, I'm going to leg sweep you real fast just so you can't use your fucking super death chaos blade ability. But you're maybe only going to get like 1 or 2 uses out of this. Unless you, like, really spec into it, but you're still burning it and not getting anything back. Alright, yeah, no, that works. Yeah, alright. That's it. Actually, no, we gotta do combat strength. Combat, easy combat. Monster level, we'll say 4 to 8. 4 to 6. Monster level. Actually, total monster level. Actually, no, we want to do total monster level 4 to 6. We'll do 7 to 9. And then 10 plus. My foot's asleep. That's not good. Alright, no, I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're done. I'll probably do some like small cleaning, like add some images and stuff. Like add an image right here, obviously. Add maybe like 1 image over here, but just to kind of clean some things up. But yeah, no, I think we're done. Yeah, this one was a weird one. Hopefully Mr. Oyumai likes it. That's all I can really hope for. Thanks, Kenshi. You're a big help. But generally speaking, I'll probably clean this one up just a smidge more. Just do some like light additions to things. Nothing too hardcore. But maybe like add an image like right here. Maybe probably add some more footnotes. You know, footnotes and side notes being like, this is kind of a weird thing I noticed. Probably add another Emran section in here. Probably add something around here. Like, I just need images right now. Like, that's all it is, really. Yeah, generally speaking, things went pretty well. This project was a weird one. I wanted to do a little bit more thematic. I did kind of fall into some things I was kind of like, oh, well, gotta do this. I did fall into that. I will be the first one to admit it, but I think I did pretty decent in this. I think I went thematic. A little bit weird, a little bit strange. Probably given a little bit, like, again, infinite budget, infinite time, obviously. You can always say, like, oh, well, I do this, this, and this. Yeah, I think enemies a little bit wonky. Yeah, the enemies are a bit wonky, like weapons are a bit wiggity whack, but they work for what they're supposed to do. I would say like maybe there's some like small things that need to be changed is mostly like what is the kind of the issue. It's a lot of like, well, I just need to kind of sit down and just play a few games of it, which is a lot easier said than done. But yeah, no, I'm happy with this game. Kind of different, kind of a little bit weird. Gave myself I handicapped myself a little bit. Like I decided to stick to a system, add in a bunch of kind of skills. Honestly, if I were to like kind of go back in time, I would probably do another set skill version. But I didn't. I was like, well, I've been reading Wild Skies, and I don't want to just copy Wild Skies. But yeah, I like it. It's weird. It's different. But weird and different is sometimes good. So it's good to change things up sometimes. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for watching. Midnight Anima has been completed. Right now it's mostly like just fixing things up and giving Emran a little bit more, like an example of Emran. But yeah, things work. Things are good. I like it when things work and are good. This does mean this Friday we'll probably be working on Metal Saviors. And depending on a few different things, there's a chance a commission project will come through. And there's a chance the commission project will come through. And as usual, commission projects take priority. They'll always come first. Or we'll start on Sidewinder. It would probably be next Monday. And Sidewinders will be, obviously, the melodramatic playing game. Miro, please. Go away. Miro, I love you to death. There's a little fly in my room. But yeah, no, next Monday will probably be the Project Sidewinder initial one. If the commissioner doesn't get back to me. Yeah, no, like the commissioner, the commission project that he's kind of talking about, I was going over things with him and like I have the idea. It works. It really depends on how he wants to approach it. Because that'll either be a relatively short one or it's going to be a lot longer. And it is very much a, how does this work? And how do you see this? Versus how do you actually want to do this? Because what he initially proposed was literally Mountain Blade, Bannerlord, the tabletop game, with everything in it. Every single aspect of Mountain Blade Bannerlord was going to be in that game, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. We are not going to make the authentic butter economy. That will kill me. That will kill you. Like, we will be dead men. But hopefully, again, hopefully he gets back to me on that. That'd be awesome. There was another commission project that someone contacted me about, because again, these don't come in consistently. Oh no, they all come in at once. And hopefully that guy, I sent him the documentation being like, fill out this document, tell me what you actually want, send it back to me, and we can talk. Because again, I send people the document not because the DOS commission document. I send it to them not as like, here's homework you have to write out, and be like, help me help you. Like, it's really easy to say something, but when you write it down, sometimes you can kind of get a better idea of like what you're actually looking for. And I have it in writing what you want. So I can say like, you didn't ask for this. Like, this is what you want. Like, this is how we're going to do it. But hopefully that comes through. He never he hasn't given back to me. I might PM him on that one, being like, so what's up there, boo-boo? But if nothing comes through, we'll start Sidewinder next week. I have some good ideas for Sidewinder. I've been thinking about it a little bit more. There's not going to be a Tulpa this time. It's not a Tulpa though. We're not going to have one of those. But am I saying we're going to just blast the Ace Combat soundtrack the entire time? Yes. The entire time, I'm just going to learn all about planes, and it's going to be glorious. It's just going to be Top Gun. We're just going to watch Top Gun. It's going to be great. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you on Friday, which will be working probably on Metal Saviors. That's my goal. There's some notes I got to do on Metal Saviors. It's like, oh god, why is there so much stuff? And that's also when a very special video is coming out, and hopefully everyone's ready for that one. I know I'm ready. So, thank you all. I will see you all when I see you. If you need me, you know where to find me. Away!